Today's Toy Spot, we'll be having a look at the Hasbro The Amazing Spider-Man. Today we're having a look at comic series Symbiote Snap Venom. Again, a Venom. However, Spot's got a little bit of a surprise. I'm not going to reveal it just yet. There is a Try Me button. That's not the surprise. for everybody that just thought Spot couldn't wait, that wasn't the surprise. Found these now have started dropping like it's hot, dropping at my local Walmart. These were also going for about $10.99. Debatable as to whether I think that's worth $10.99. The Venom, I could very well think yes is worth that, but really these figures should be sitting at around $7, $8. I don't think 3 3/4 inch figures of anything across the board, whether it be G.I. Joe's, Marvel Universe, DC Infinite Heroes, what? Cancelled? Okay, scratch that last one. But all 3 3/4 inch figures really I don't think should go further than $8. $10 I think is a little too much. But this comes to us from Hasbro. This also comes celebrating the new, well, it's going to be released soon, The Amazing Spider-Man. It might already be out depending on when this video gets uploaded. I hope to upload these soon. But on the back of the package, Symbiote Snap Venom, Crushing Snap Jaw. Down below there are some other villains you can pick up. There's also the Mega Cannon Spider-Man. There's also the Symbiote. I reviewed them. You can check them out. There's also Doc Ock, and there's also a Green Goblin. I haven't picked either of these yet, but I might likely still pick them up and shoot reviews for you guys. You can go to hasbro.com/Spider-Man. You can also go to theamazingspiderman.com. One thing that's interesting is the fact that I don't know if it's, I want to say perhaps that is a retool of the Venom head. Now this Venom was a repack. It looks like it's a repack of the Fiercest Foes Venom. However, there might be a little surprise in there as well. But it does look like his head is a little different. As you can see, the head on this figure on the back is of the Venom that came from the Fiercest Foes. The head looks a little different on this Venom. It could just be a paint issue or paint change. I can't wait to find out. Color me excited. What I am going to do is take a bit of a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at Symbiote Snap Venom. There's more to come, guys. Stay tuned. And get it out of the way first. Venom does come with a snapping jaw. It's a much larger version of his head. I suppose as a customizer, if you found a way to take this off, this head, you could probably put it on top of a Venom, like make a custom Venom. Just some ideas. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing out some ideas. Little lever on the side. That makes him talk. Go to Walmart and save. You can take it and put it on Venom's hand. Arm. I really should have said arm. It's a little ridiculous. If Venom really was going to make anything out of his symbiote costume, I don't know if he would just make a much larger version of his head. Unless he was going on the road as a ventriloquist, it's possible. Taking that off. It unfortunately doesn't match the figure either, because the actual snapping jaw only has one color. It's this kind of purpley, bluish purple kind of color. Whereas the rest of Venom actually has a little more going on than just that. Putting that down, let's have a look at Venom. Now initially Spot had commented in earlier videos of the Spider-Man figures here that a lot of these were repacks of the Fiercest Foes. I thought the same with the Venom. I automatically thought the exact same thing with Venom here. Oh, here we go, yet another re-release of Venom. Oh, not so, my friends, not so. Deliciously sweet news ahead. If I bring in, I'll move this guy over. I don't have the Venom that I wanted to pull out because I can't find where I put him. However, I do have one of the Venoms from, I think this is the Web Splasher Water Sled something. But it does use the same body as the Fiercest Foes Spider-Man. And you can see it is a slightly different head. Now granted, this head would have been the same as the other Venom. the one I can't find. The only difference is the one I had also had the tongue. This one doesn't have a tongue, but you can see that it is definitely a different figure. You see that? Look at that, eh? And also his body is distinctly different. The chest on this new Venom is much broader. You can also see that his head sits further up on the shoulders, whereas this one is more sunken in. It looks like he has the same arms, possibly the same legs. Oh, with a little bit of a surprise. But it is definitely different. It is definitely different. Even from the back, you can see the new Venom is much broader than the original Venom here. Now, one thing, depending on when you watch the reviews, maybe I didn't upload these yet, the original Venom had, I think, a pin and socket in the shoulders, he had a bend in the elbow, and he had no articulation in the knees. Squat. He had nothing. Nothing at all. But at least he had bend in the elbows. I said it was a really good figure, but I really wish he had had the bend in the knees. Then I got this Venom, and this Venom was even worse. It only had the swivel. It had no bend in the elbow, no bend in the knees, nothing. It only had 5 points of articulation. Now looking at then this Venom, the one that we've just been released, again, also he's a tad shorter, just a little bit if you factor in the head. But one thing I really like about this Venom is the fact that he's got elbow articulation, which was the exact same as the Fiercest Foes. Good, yes, good, yummy, delicious. But, oh, look what they've done. Gather around, look what Spot's pointing out. They've put a knee articulation in. Hasbro, you've made me so happy. So happy for a Venom 3 3/4 inch figure. Really sad, I know, Spot, it's really sad. But yes, they have put knee articulation in, which is the one problem I had with the other Venom figure. That was my one problem. Now granted, he still doesn't have swivel in the waist or anything like that, but that makes me very, very happy. Let's zoom into his face, and I like what they've done with the face. It could have done a little bit more in the paint, maybe a little more on the tongue instead of it just being one single color. I actually think that the tongue is a little different too than the Fiercest Foes Venom as well. Doesn't bend or anything like that. But a little bit of paint would have been nice to add to the on the figure's head. Maybe a little more black than this blue that they've got on there. You can also see that he has a lot of this blue mingled amongst the black. At least it works. At least it's not like this guy right here. Look how much blue is on this. I digress. I know I've already ranted about this already, but this is how it should have been. This is how it's too much. Joan Rivers, just right. The Symbiote symbol is really done well. Everything about these figures are really clean as of late. I mean, these new Spider-Man figures I've been really, really impressed with. Now, in the way of Venom's articulation, I've mentioned it already a couple times, but he does have a ball-jointed head. Now, the one gripe I could make is the fact that his head is a little further down. It could have been a little higher, but it kind of makes him a little more of a beast. It makes him a little more, I don't know, like he's really going to rip you apart, the fact that his head's a little further down. So I guess it's not too bad. As mentioned, he's got a pin and socket shoulder. So you can rotate the arms all the way around, also in and out. You can rotate the arms all the way around. You can bend at the elbows. Nothing in the wrist. Oh, and also, he doesn't have these squares or anything on his hand, which is not a big deal. It's not really that big of a deal. No waist swivel, which is really something that is shared by all the other Spider-Man figures in this line. He does have a swivel in the leg, though. Oh, and look, he's got a bend in the knee, swivel in the knee as well, and nothing in the ankle. It's so pleasant to find a Venom finally in a 3 3/4 inch scale that has that bend in the knee. The one thing I didn't like about the other figures, they've definitely gone back and fixed. This is also a good reason that if you didn't get the Venom from Fiercest Foes, you liked it and you were kind of on the fence, do go out of your way, and if you want a Venom for your Marvel Universe setup or if you just want a Venom just to go along with your Spider-Man figures, you know, of the smaller scale, I would say definitely worth picking this guy up. Very, very pleasantly surprised, let me tell you. Symbiote Snap Venom. This, again, is just something I'm not going to bother using, but Symbiote Snap Venom, I'm going to give him a 7.5. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the new Amazing Spider-Man comic series. Love this Venom. It was Symbiote Snap Venom that we were looking at. Thanks for watching, as you always do, guys. Let me know down below what you think of this Venom, and I will see you guys next time.